as well. They got a much-needed triumph at Mallorca last weekend. Entertaining football and lots of talented players, including another start. And that's one of the reasons why, historically, this has been a very high-scoring fixture. In-swinging delivery, met by Gabia. Lamine with his first chance to come to the fore, and he does with the great cross, and Gavi is there at the far post. You wouldn't pick Gavi out as the man to produce the towering header at the far post back across goal, but that's exactly what he did, into the corner. And it's 2-2 making the challenge to win it back. And Villareal must be a bit aggrieved that they're trailing. They've had all these chances. They've had a goal disallowed by a sign for exactly that.
How important is going to be Oriol for Barcelona? Of course, it's not Busquets with the ball. He hasn't got the same kind of passing accuracy and vision of play like Busquets, but defensively is phenomenal.
Yeah, and is it fair to suggest that Busquets probably wouldn't have been able to make that challenge that Romeo just did to win the ball back? And here is Lamine again, deflected shot. Where's it going to land? At the feet of Foyth, flicked out. Here's the corner for Barcelona. Gundogan plays it in, away by Capoue, as far as Lamine. Now Koundé, back to Lamine. Sergio Roberto finds Lamine. And cross this time is too shallow.
But Gavi was already making the same run as before. It was Lewandowski and Gavi.
And we saw last week, Pedri was the one who made the run to break the deadlock.
He's not come out too much. He's probably pondering what's going wrong right now as Barcelona on the attack yet again, and I'll let you take over again.
By Ter Stegen as far as Foyth, who's got a bit of space. They back away from him. He picks out the pass to Baena, but there's good awareness from Lamine doing...
So as a holding midfielder, now it's easier.
Gundogan sends the corner up high and deep, controlled by Lamine, whose cross is not a good one this time. Straight.
From 3 centre-backs, and Marcos Alonso is basically playing as a wing-back.
Here's Lamine again. This time takes on a couple of Villareal defenders. The cross is cleared. Romeo tries to feed it into Levin. Cut back for Terraz, who leaves it for Capoue. He wants to shift it on for Gerard Moreno, blocked by Frenkie de Jong. And Lamine gets the clearance away because the referee...
Well, they more or less dealt with with the attacking options of the opposition team.
Roberto. Lamine. Gundogan.
Barcelona creating more danger through the middle than really through the flanks, and sometimes you have to analyze what are the weak points of the rival. Let's see.
Which side for you?
No, it's there's been a dip in temperatures, I think, all around Spain. Fortunately for us here at pitchside, it was almost unbearable last weekend in Seville. But yeah, there's a cool air swirling around. It's, I'd say,
quite 2.5 games in yet. We've already had goals from Pedri last week, Gavi and Frenkie de Jong.
In the Barcelona can find spaces. Yeah, it was Frenkie de Jong. Now Gavi will appear now. Well, this is something that Barcelona have to explode. That the wingers don't like to do, and but well, unfortunately they have to.
Given away by Terraz to Lamine, and especially for a 16-year-old, Barca racing into a 2-goal lead with a pair of goals in 3 minutes. And Gavi and Frenkie de Jong, but Juan Foyth and Alex Soloff getting it back to 2-2. But here come Barca again with Lamine running through and having it very solidly blocked in the end by...
To improve in terms of, well, being more experienced and sometimes more intense in the duels, but very good with it.
Looks like both teams just want to settle into the game early on in the second half. And he said that. Here's Lamine. Rolls it along the byline, but dealt with by Pedraza. Now Baena under pressure, loses it. Gundogan onto Lamine. Lewandowski. Gundogan. Lewandowski. Gundogan can't quite receive Romeo. On to Sergio Roberto. And now Lamine.
There was that 4-4 not so long ago, and see if we could get more of that. And well, both teams have lived up to those expectations.
Well, it's 17 out of 23 games between the teams now that have produced at least.
It wasn't something personal against Gigas at the end, but it was more the feeling that they lost Unai Emery. And I think now that the dust has settled a little bit and the way that they're playing the football, well, I think the fans have taken a little bit more to Gigas at the end.
Here's Lamine flicking it through beautifully. It's Alonso in the middle of the area. Lamine off the post. So close to a sensational equaliser from the 16-year-old. And the attack continues with Frenkie de Jong now. He'll float it towards Lamine, who goes down as he tries to receive that cross. Surprised that Villareal didn't sign a more experienced keeper. Philip Jorgensen, only 21. Looks like he's the first choice now. Well, he decided in favour of Baena on that account. Sergi Roberto, 4 in the box. And Lamine wide. His cross should be the keeper's. It is taken. Hit the woodwork. And they force that save now, and forward they come once more with Lamine. In the penalty area. It's Gundogan. It's away by Parejo. Lamine nods it back in. Cuenca gets it away, but he will have certainly been the one to order that change. He's in communication with the bench. This turn by Lamine, who was just pulled back by Pedraza. De Jong to Ferran Torres. Thought about the shot, instead the pass to Lamine inside the area. The back heel for Sergi Roberto, stands up the cross, Foyth away.
What they need now.
Former Barcelona player, of course, Denis Suarez, among many others. Here's Lamine Yamal to the edge of the area, flicked on by Sergi Roberto. The offside flag. 3-2 Villareal lead, having been down 2-0. Plenty of time for that to change, though. Here's Frenkie de Jong. Ferran flicks it through. Gavi trying to force his way through. Ferran with the shot blocked. The second shot he follows up and he equalises.
Perfectly come on, I think. Let's see if the next substitutions is Baena for Jeremy.
Now here's Lamine. Barca looking to go ahead, and Lamine off the post, and Lewandowski follows it up. And just as they did in the first half, Barca have scored 2 goals in quick succession to go ahead, and finally Robert Lewandowski does get his first goal of the season. But there's a huge debt of suspended, but it's going to be hard for Rafinha to get back in now.
That's going to be a tough decision for Xavi, isn't it? Between Lamine Yamal and Rafinha, 2 similar players. That was a midfielder, so 2 perfect wingers, great wingers on one side, so he can rest one and give the opportunity to the other. So he's, yeah.
Technically, he won't get an assist for that last goal. I think if you have a shot that hits the post and then your teammate immediately scores, you don't actually get an assist, which I always think is a bit wrong.
Yeah, well, I don't think he really cares what the stat says.
Seems it's all gone a bit flat for the Villareal fans with that 1-2 punch.
Yeah, rollercoaster of emotions as Lamine Yamal continues to make life difficult for Pedraza and Ansu Fati, as well as José Luis Morales also preparing to come on for, yes, the changes for Lamine Yamal. And you can hear applause from not only the Barcelona fans, but also a big section of the Villareal fans who have clearly enjoyed seeing this special talent playing out on the pitch of the Estadio La Cerámica today. So a nice moment there from the home fans, and Baena is the player.